Hi guys, hope you're all well. It's Mitch here, just coming on to do the Sunday Tarot and Oracle reviews for you. So today I am going to be reviewing for you the Gothic Tarot, and this is a deck that has been created by Joseph Vargo. So I don't know if you can see that too well there. Okay, so this is the beautiful deck and it's the back of it. Now I have wanted this deck for a really long time, and I was lucky enough that I was gifted this deck at Christmas. So yeah, let's have a look at it and let's check it out. Now, I don't know, this is a deck that I'm a bit sort of upset about, I'm going to be really honest with you. I had such high hopes for this deck, but I'm going to be really honest. The artwork is stunning, the artwork is amazingly beautiful. It's very similar to sort of something you would get that represents the kind of Dracula sort of movement, and it's a very sort of, well, like it says, it's gothic, it's very sort of dark, sinister. The artwork is fabulous, but the quality of this deck is really poor. This is probably, I think, one of the poorest decks I've got in terms of its printing kind of quality. Literally, the tuck box, this deck is like pretty much brand new. I haven't even worked with it yet, and I don't know if you can see, it's a little bit battered on the sides, and tuck boxes tend to not last very well. It's a rip down there, so I'm really disappointed with this deck in terms of its producing quality. Now, it's produced by Monolith Graphics. I don't know if you can see on the back, there's a big old sort of logo that they've got, and it just says on the back here, the Gothic Tarot contains all 78 cards of the major and minor arcana, fully illustrated in vivid colour by Joseph Vargo. This visually stunning deck conveys a dark and elegant Gothic mood with images of vampires, gargoyles, ghosts and angels. Also included is an instruction booklet which contains the meanings of all the cards and an easy to use layout guide. Now, this was created and published by Monolith Graphics, and it was back in 2002 that this was created. And I don't know, guys, like, if this was sort of created or published by some of the other ones that we've seen very often, like Llewellyn Cards or Hay House or Solarus Publishings, if it was by any of those, the quality could have been 20 times better. But literally, for quality, as in publishing, this is down to a 4 or a 5. It's rubbish, because when you open these cards up, what I will say, literally, you know, like what you would get off like a cereal box, like that kind of card. These cards literally feel like something off of a cereal box. They're really, look how bendy they are. They're really thin. There's no stock quality to them. They're the cheapest kind of looking. Literally, in terms of how they feel, it's literally like a box of cereal. The card is crap, I'll be really honest with you. So it's a real shame, because these cards could have been 1,000 times better, and if you were to be working with these every day, these would get battered, you would lose the colour. You know, like sort of when you sort of touch any sort of card for too long, you get sort of rips and you get sort of ripples in it. These ain't gonna last. I almost feel like I need to go and laminate all of these just to keep them looking nice, because, you know, so quality, I have to say, it is probably the poorest deck I have in terms of its quality, which is a real shame. It really lets it down. And this isn't like a sort of a cheap deck, it's quite an expensive deck. I'm just really gutted, because like I said, the artwork, you know, looks amazing, looks stunning. So you've got this introduction kind of card here, that's how the back of them look. That's all really amazing, that's really cool, but just the actual the quality of it, it's not there, guys. You know, I never understand why, you know, artists spend all this time creating beautiful work, but then they seem to sort of like not want to bother putting the quality or putting the money into the cards. I mean, look how easy I'm bending that as a set. It's not good. They wouldn't last long term. But nevertheless, I'm going to show you the actual cards, because like I say, the images, the visions, the artwork itself is beautiful. So you can see here the Fool. These should be in order, because again, I haven't actually used them yet. Magician, I mean, look at that lightning bolt. Like I say, stunning images. I love the artwork, and which is why I've wanted this deck for such a long time. You know, this has been high on my list for ages, but I'm gutted that it's not going to be something I can work with, because I'll be honest, I'd be fearful to touch this too much, you know, just because of what might happen to it. So it's a real shame, to be honest, the Emperor, as you can see there. So I do think it really does greatly let it down. And for anybody that's kind of like designing or making your own decks at the moment, please, 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 as a reader, always put your money into the quality of the cards themselves, because, you know, that is actually the most important thing. They're a really good size. They're quite a nice big size. I like the size of them, you know, and like I say, the images, I mean, look at that one, Justice there. They're powerful, but it's just the actual quality of the deck itself is really let down by, you know, the lack of stock quality. Not good. I mean, look at this strength. That's beautiful. Now, if these were done on Hay House Publishings, these would probably be a little bit bigger, perhaps, but they would be of that lovely sort of matte finish with that really thick stock quality, and that would just make these 1,000 times better. You know, they would be really amazing then. But unfortunately, we're losing quite a few points because of, you know, because they're just not. So I definitely think stock quality matters when it comes to kind of any form of card, whether it's tarot or whether it's oracle. Look at the beauty of that, the stars. See, the artwork is stunning. Probably artwork wise, I know this is a very dark sort of set of cards, but this is probably one of my best decks in terms of artwork. That's what's so frustrating about it. To produce such gorgeous artwork and then such a poor quality of finish, it's a shame. It's a real shame. And obviously I understand anybody creating their own sort of work, you know, there's budgets and things to contend with, but guys, you know, just look at it from a different perspective. You want your deck to last. I love this one, the Queen of Wands. How powerful is that? Because they are quite dark and mystical, you might not be able to see some of them particularly well in this video, but they are awesome. They've changed the pages for knaves, they've called them. So there's a few little bits of tweaking here and there. So obviously then we're going into the suits, and the suits themselves are quite straightforward. So as you can see, they all follow a sort of similar theme here. But absolutely stunning on the artwork front. I love the artwork. Artwork is easily a 10, you know. The artwork by Joseph Vargo is easily a 10. It's just such a shame that like he didn't sort of carry it through with the quality of the actual sort of turning the vision into reality, if you like. I'm not going to show you all of these, but I just want to show you enough. I mean, that's powerful. That's a beautiful image. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a big spider web behind her. So for anyone that's got a love of kind of like things dark, gothic, mystical, this is still a deck worth having for that reason. It's one still worth having in your collection, but just be prepared that if you want to work with it all the time, every day to day, you're probably going to have to buy a couple of versions of this deck just to have one that you can use, but then like a backup one, because like I say, they won't last otherwise, unfortunately. So then we're going into cups. So I want to show you enough of these so you get an idea, but I don't want to show you, I might show you the whole deck, but I'm not planning to. We'll sort of see how we go. Like I say, for any of you that love the darker things, then this is a really cool deck to have. And like I say, it's still worth getting it, bearing in mind that you know about the quality because I've pre-warned you. You won't be disappointed. I think the reason I was so disappointed is because I was expecting something of really good quality, because they look so stunning and visually powerful. I mean, that's a beautiful card there. I just put in my mind that I had this idea that everything was going to be, you know, really, really top end, and it isn't. So it's like, oh, okay, that's a real shame, because I had such high hopes for this deck. Maybe my own expectations were a bit perhaps too high. Who knows? So like I say, I just want to show you enough of these so that you can see them. They're obviously quite graphic as well in detail, so like with this one with the sort of king's head and all the blood dripping down. So if you're sort of squeamish, or if you are, you know, are not so keen on that side of things, you might not like this deck. It's a little bit, it is dark, it's a sinister deck, but I think that's quite cool to have the odd like one that's a little bit more malevolent almost. I like that from time to time. So very powerful. I mean, like this one's really powerful image. Love it. So if you have an awareness and an appreciation for the Gothic arts and the darker side of things at times, this is going to be right up your street. And they've got a nice mix of angels, ghouls, vampires, and then the mystical kind of elements in between. There's a nice sort of balance of everything here, which is kind of cool. Lots of beautiful, stunning sort of vampire-esque females, and the more sort of mystical aspects. I love that with the gates and the smoke swirling. Like I say, artwork, 10 out of 10. Can't fault the artwork. Absolutely beautiful, but it is just a little bit of a shame about the overall quality. And that actually is, guys, the whole deck. So we've gone through that pretty quick. So, and as you can see, like I said, I haven't actually used these. I don't know if you can see, but like on the edge, there's sort of that white banding is starting to come out already. So I'm thinking, not even used these yet. And there are, you know, little bits and pieces starting to show weathered signs already. So if I was using this full time, like I say, the only way I can describe the card is like something you would get on a cereal packet. It's the only way I can describe it. I've never had that before with a deck. So, you know, the deck itself is already bowing, as you can see. So it's like, that really does let it down. Having said that, you know, I mean, the way that they're bending and bowing here, I mean, they're not gliding particularly nicely in the hand. I'm thinking I've got to be very careful they don't actually break. So again, not the best. But I'm trying to find a card for us for Sunday and for the week ahead. See what we need to know about, things to be aware of, guidance to be given. Okay, so this one's come up for us. So we've got the Three of Pentacles. Beautiful card. Love the sort of ravens or crows there, as you can see. So as we look at the book is actually quite reasonably good quality. Nice sort of like black and white print there. And then what you've got at the top is straight into pretty much the breakdown of everything. It talks about all the cards, minor arcana, seeing if there's anything at the back anywhere. It's pretty straightforward, it's pretty to the point. It gives you a couple of sort of spreads you can sort of try and do. The Mystical Seven, that was an interesting one, and then the Celtic Cross, so you get a few examples, and then on the back it just says a very, very quick overview about, you know, the cards and a breakdown of the major arcana. So let's have a look for the Pentacles, and let's find the Three of Pentacles, wherever that is. Okay, so Three of Pentacles is here. So, okay, and it just says divinatory meaning, glory and reconcision, attend through skilled labour or a trade, artistry, a rise to noble ranks, aristocracy, sorry, my dyslexia again. So that's its kind of meaning. So it's bulletproof, bullet point kind of key points to this. If it was to come out reversed, it would indicate pettiness and feelings of envy and disapproval. So you haven't got a lot to work with in terms of an actual message. It's very, very limited on what it's giving you in terms of the meanings for the book. So it's another one you have to actually really kind of work with your own intuition on. Normally for me, when I see the Three of Pentacles, it's like the power of three. It's our personal investments. It's what we send out, we attract back in. So usually for me, when the Three of Pentacles comes up, it is actually a card of being able to move forward with something in a working way. And that's, I suppose, where it's got here about the skilled labour or trades, and it sort of touches on craftsmanship and doing something that you love as personal investment and moving up the ranks. So usually it can indicate that there may be some types of promotion. If money has been a little bit hindered, this could be indicating that money is going to start to flow a bit more comfortably and a bit more freely. So yeah, in terms of that's its kind of message. So I hope that resonates and makes sort of sense for you. In terms of the book, very, very little to work with. So it's not hugely kind of beneficial. It's nice they've included something, but you're very limited with what you're giving. If you are new to tarot, don't get this deck, because unless you really love the dark sort of Gothic artwork, because I just think this is not a good deck to work with as a starting point. It's one that would probably really confuse a lot of people. It's not the easiest, and I just feel that they've really sort of not given great meanings as well, actually, in the cards. So a shame, really. So really, all in all then with this deck, I'm going to have to score it something quite low because of its quality. I think I can only score it a maximum of a 5. If they perhaps did a bit more in terms of the actual information that goes in the guidebook, and certainly if they could improve the printing quality, like as I'm trying to put it back in, it's not even all sitting nicely back in its case. I'm really struggling because the bottom's falling out to get it back in. It's not good, you know. So yeah, I don't think I can score it any higher than a 5, unfortunately. It should be a 10 from the artwork point of view, but because of how it is, I can only score it a 5. So it's the Gothic Tarot, illustrated by Joseph Vargo. Check it out. If you're an avid tarot collector, it's still worth having in the collection, but be prepared for it to not be of great kind of quality in terms of its printing value. Like I say, that really, really does let it down, unfortunately. I would love to have been able to give this a 10, because that's what it really deserves, but it's not quite there yet, unfortunately. But check it out. You might love it, and you might resonate with this. See what you think. So love and blessings, and more videos coming soon. Catch you guys later. Bye.